I invited you, and tonight I'm going to be your host. But Amy, who you see on the screen, that beautiful lady there, ta-da, is going to be the person speaking. And she is going to show you, I have so many things to read to you, but what we're going to talk about is how to earn 6 figures and beyond in network marketing as a woman. And I know, I know that appeals to everybody here. I'm so excited about that. And I met Amy many, many months ago, and from the minute we talked, we connected, and I knew she was the real deal. And it's one of those things that, for those of you who know me, you know that I don't connect or I don't associate myself with a whole lot of people as far as endorsing programs and things like that. But when I met Amy, we are so congruent in everything. And I know her heart for women. I know my heart for women. I know empowering women and to go out there and create freedom in our lives is where my passion is. And her and I related at that level in such a big way. And I am so excited to share with you her program. And so I am going to just read some notes that I have because I don't want to miss anything, and then I'm going to turn it over to Amy. But it's really important to me that everybody knows who she is. So I've got some papers, and I know you can see me, but I don't want to mess this up. So I looked at this, and I was so excited to share it with you. I wore my bling and everything. So there you go. So Amy understands what makes women entrepreneurs tick. And if you're trying to earn 6 figures in network marketing, you absolutely have to be an entrepreneur and have that mindset. And that's the part that I think so many people get stuck with. I know they get stuck with that because they're not entrepreneurial in nature. They feel like they've joined a company and they're repping a product, or they have a part-time job or something like that. And so tonight we're going to talk about why that is hurting you immensely. So Amy has launched and run not 1, but 4 7-figure businesses over the course of her career. 4 7 figures. I mean, I'd be happy with 1. So I think most of you would be. Her first business was just a little vending machine business, and she managed to sell it for $1 million. So I'm sure all of us could use an extra $1 million. And she's gotten bigger and more successful in everything that she's done. And she's coached so many people. And I've been on some of her coaching calls. I have taken some coaching from her. And I am just so impressed with what she offers. And she's helped over 100,000 people with some of her books and trainings. So this is the part I want to read so I don't mess anything up. She's been all over the media: ABC, NBC, the New York Times, Cosmo, Shape, Teen, TLC, The Martha Stewart Show, Women's World, WebMD, and many others. And she's partnered with some of the most successful women in network marketing, spent over a year demonstrating every last strategy they've used to become successful, or deconstructing every last strategy they've used to become successful. And she's going to share those with us tonight. And this part says she's raising the most adorable 3-year-old you've ever seen. And Amy wrote that part. But I have seen her, and she is adorable. And I'm just really, really excited to introduce everybody to Amy Applebaum. I'm just proud to be here, connected with her, and very excited for everybody that's on this call. So I'm going to give this to you, Amy, and say thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Lynn, I feel exactly the same way as I was hearing you say that. We've had a couple of really funny conversations. We've had a couple of really deep conversations. And every time we talk, there's something more in common, even the fact that we wear pajamas on the bottom. I mean, there's so many things. We're both flip-flop girls. We love the beach. We prefer no makeup and no bling. There's so many things that we have in common. We both love women. I'm so honored that you would share your community with me. So thank you so much. I love helping women build really successful businesses. It's now my passion, and that's really what I want to share tonight. I think I really want to thank everybody for taking the time to be here tonight, because you have so much to deal with in your everyday lives. I know a lot of you are moms, and just finding, and some of you might be dads. I don't know everybody we have on the line, but just simply finding the time to improve yourself and your business is so much more than most people do. So just know that you're already a leg up because of that. So Lynn, thank you for having me. I'm really excited. And what I want to do now is share my screen with you. So bear with me, because I share this with Lynn too. We're both
technology geniuses.
Technology savvy. Yes, we are so there. Let me just get rid of that. And then I'm going to share my screen. Oh, wait, I have to pop my screen. Sorry, I'm coming. And I can't see. Can you see? Do you have good eyes? Because that's another thing I have. I just have to find my slides, everyone. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Now I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to be off and running. Just let me know when you can actually see my screen.
Ta-da! I can see it.
Okay, let me hit play. Voila, we've done it.
Good. We're good to go.
Okay. Awesome. Well, if we want to keep this conversation going on social media, then why don't we all use this hashtag, AWSCLynn. Seems like the right hashtag. As we get into tonight's topic, one of the biggest themes that I want to keep coming back to again and again is that most women in network marketing may not be fully aware of the uniquely advantageous position that they're actually in. So I want to be able to talk about that. Sorry, my screen is going absolutely haywire here. Let me stop this because it's distracting. I can just see myself talking. It's driving me crazy. Okay. Can you see my screen okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. So in this industry of network marketing, your womanhood can either be your biggest asset or it can be your biggest liability. Tonight, what I want to show you is how to overcome the challenges that specifically hold women back in network marketing and prevent them from earning the six-figure incomes that they really want and deserve to have. We're going to talk about why some of the male mentors in your life are actually unknowingly, because we love men, by the way. We love men. But they can set us up to fail in the long term with advice that doesn't actually apply to women. So I want to talk about that tonight. I also want to show you how you've been ignoring your intuition along with your natural ability to connect, to empathize, and to be authentic, and why it's been holding you back from the success that you really want. And essentially how to own your feminine side to more effectively actually attract customers and business partners. So, by the way, this is the first time I'm delivering this webinar, so Lynn, to your community. So I would love questions, feedback, all of that stuff at the end, because we want to make sure that we're delivering a lot of value. But the other thing I want to explore tonight is how we women experience the business world differently. So many women have been destroying their chances at financial freedom because of how differently we perceive things like rejection from, say, our male counterparts. You're going to learn about the #1 reason that women don't earn six figures in network marketing. And after tonight, you're going to understand precisely why you've been holding yourself back and what to do instead so that you're with your business. So that you can run your business, have the balance that you need with your business, and do all of that good stuff. I just went haywire on my slides. Okay, and if you stay all the way to the end, I want to show you exactly how to solve your biggest business challenge in about a half an hour flat. It doesn't matter if your marketing stinks right now, or if your communication skills aren't working properly, or if prospects keep flaking out on you, or if picking up the phone and calling people scares you. You know, that it can really scare a lot of people. Or if you're just feeling swamped and you need to balance your business while making sure that you've got dinner ready for your kids every night. The information in this webinar is important now because there are a select few network marketing pioneers, Lynn being one of them, who have kicked the door open for other women. And if you choose to pay attention to what they're doing, you will be much more likely to get to the all-important milestone of six figures much faster. If you ignore this message and exclusively follow advice that doesn't feel like it applies to you, or just follow, say, the footsteps of men in the industry. And I'm going to explain this. There is no male bashing going on here, but we have been led by men because they have primarily led the sales movement for years. And so what we have to do is start to own more of our femininity so that we can actually be more powerful. So I just want to set that course now so that you all know, I love my husband, I love men, this isn't about that. But we don't want you to set yourself up to fail or slow your progress down to a snail's pace, because you are not following in the footsteps of your female women pioneers like Lynn. So again, let me be clear. It's not about not loving men. It's about understanding our differences and utilizing what makes us uniquely female in order to build our empire. So if you're serious about signing more people up, about getting past all of the rejections, motivating your team, getting over your fears, and really turning your network marketing business into an asset that provides you with financial freedom, then this webinar is specifically for you. But before I get started, I thought I should, Lynn alluded to this a little bit, but I thought I should tell you a little bit about some of the events which actually brought us together tonight. So the very first business that I started was a toy vending company. I had absolutely no business experience. I didn't know anything about anything. This is a picture of one of my vending machines. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I was afraid to really take that plunge. But at this point, I had nothing to lose because I had just been fired from waiting tables. That's a whole nother story we won't go into tonight, but it's a really good one because who gets fired from waiting tables? But I did. And as hard and freaking scary as the choice was for me to really decide to go out and be on my own, I decided I would go for it and I would figure it out as I went. Well, let me just tell you that I really didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know about branding. I didn't know about marketing or sales or anything. And to make matters worse, the market was saturated. So what that meant for me at the time was that these little toy vending machines were literally everywhere. In every grocery store, pizza place, family entertainment center, I had bought 20 machines on a credit card, and now I couldn't find anywhere to put them. And I didn't really even know how to place them. But then one very hot Los Angeles day, I got my very first account. And it was this little donut shop. It was always filled with kids, so I knew it was going to be, this was cool. I was so excited to finally make some money. I had done like almost nothing for 6 months. So I drove home with this huge grin on my face. I remember cruising down Ventura Boulevard, any of you Southern California-ers. I kicked off my shoes. I began to unscrew the cap off of my $5 bottle of champagne when my phone rang. And I think I had been home for maybe 10 minutes. It was the manager of my new location. My almost 200-pound vending machine had fallen on a little 3-year-old boy, which now when I think about it makes me just want to vomit. I mean, I have a 3.5-year-old and she's so tiny and she's so cute. And I remember sitting there, I dropped my glass of champagne and I panicked as I imagined this poor little boy underneath my machine. But the good news is he was okay. He was bruised and probably very upset. I wasn't there, but he was okay, which was the most important thing. But I was not okay. I was a total mess. In my attempt to do it all by myself, technically savvy me, not, I didn't mount the base to the top of the machine properly. So when that little boy started playing with the machine, he pulled it down on himself. He was hanging on that little part that sticks out where you put your money. And I have to say it was one of the worst days of my life. And I mean, what if I had hurt this little boy? It was so bad. I didn't even have business insurance. I wasn't even smart enough to know that I needed business insurance. So here I am. I've lost my one and only account. My business is failing. I have no money. I have no confidence. I'm leveraged. I've leveraged everything that I have on a credit card. It's all gone. And you want to know why this happened? Because of the worst habit in the world. I refused to ask for help. I was notorious for doing things on my own, and it had bitten me every single time. This time I had a choice to make. Was I going to go for this business all the way, or was I going to quit? And anybody who knows me, and I think Lynn could probably vouch for this, and I know Madison can, I have way too much pride for that, so there wasn't going to be any quitting. But I did know that I had to do things differently. I finally had the big epiphany moment, the piano on top of the head. It was time for me to stop being a stubborn know-it-all and change if I wanted to be successful. So I went to my dad, who, by the way, is like Mr. Entrepreneur Extraordinaire, who I told him time and time again, don't butt in, don't tell me what to do, I don't want to hear what you have to say. Again, I was a young, early 20s know-it-all. And I finally asked him for help, something that I never did. And then he said, in his not so arrogant way, easy breezy, Amy, just put a team of mentors together and hire a coach. At the time, he actually called it a consultant because it wasn't really called coaching back then. And so I did. No questions asked. I decided that I had to change and I had to listen. And so that's what I did. And I have to tell you, it was so much more awesome than I had ever imagined. It was my aha moment. Like, what in the world had I been thinking, not having these people in my life? All of a sudden, there were all of these ideas floating around. I wasn't stuck with my own viewpoints and my limited resources. All of these mentors were helping me. It was seriously the most awesome thing to have all of this brain work helping me build my business. So together, we brainstormed. We brainstormed ways to open up new markets since it was so saturated. And my coach, well, we dove really, really deep. I had more personal development issues than I think I had realized. So besides being stubborn and a know-it-all, I didn't prioritize properly. I didn't focus on getting to money quickly. And I had some pretty nasty beliefs floating around, but we worked on all of it. So long story short, I was the first person in the United States to place my toy vending machines in a small, no-named company called Taco Bell. It was totally awesome. So that's my story, Lynn. I know you'd asked me about that before.
It is awesome. This is the first time I've heard this. So this is awesome.
Well, I have to tell you, getting Taco Bell was like, it opened up the door, because now it was one franchisee who introduced me to another franchisee, et cetera, until I had almost the whole country. So what was so cool about this is that with the help of my mentors, I learned how to think outside of the box. I never would have thought of that on my own. I learned how to be creative. I learned how to set higher goals and be accountable and move past my fear so that I could take the actions that would really skyrocket my business. And for the first time, I knew I had it in me. I felt smart, and not because I was, but because the combined talent and brains of my team were. So I went from being in debt 16 grand in 1998 to landing Taco Bell in 1999. Hello. And I had no idea what I was doing. And if I can do it, you can do it, because I'm not special. I didn't have any special skills. I didn't go to school for business. I knew nothing about anything, but I was committed, and I chose to get past my liabilities, learn, and get support. And you can celebrate that same success. It doesn't matter where you're at today. Don't judge. Your goal is to get from your point A to your point B, whatever that is, and stay focused on that. And it's okay if you're uncomfortable or scared. That's really all part of what it means to be an entrepreneur. I don't actually remember the last time I wasn't scared, because I'm constantly doing things that are scary. I'm constantly pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. And if you're not stepping outside of your comfort zone, then you're not growing. And that's okay. Not everybody wants to do that. But what I'm trying to say is that you don't need to know how to achieve all of your goals right this minute. One step at a time, you will get to your point B with the right beliefs, the right steps, and the right mentors. Obviously, Lynn, too, if you want to chime in on anything, feel free to. Otherwise, I'll just keep rolling.
No, just keep going.
Okay. So now I'm pretty obsessed with coaching. And after a few successful businesses, I wanted to make money and do something more meaningful day to day. While vending was a really good start to having a business, it wasn't my passion. And that's what I get to do. I freaking love my business, because what's better than helping other people succeed? And that's what I love about network marketing, because that's what you all get to do every day. All right, enough about me. Let's talk about the 6-figure network marketing secrets. Okay, first of all, we all know that there's lots of negative perceptions about network marketing out there. Every day you have to deal with people who are closed off, and they don't want to hear a word about your business opportunity. They're looking at you like you're nuts, like this cute little girl, even though it's obvious and that you really need to change. Even though it's obvious that they really need to change their financial future, and you know it, and you want to tell them that, but they're just not getting it. Sometimes friends and family, unfortunately, are the least interested in your business, as we've all experienced. And then there are those people who join your team, but they aren't serious about having true financial freedom like you are, so they don't take it seriously, and it feels like it's slowing you down. And this is especially frustrating when you know deep down that they have potential, but you can't find a way to motivate them. And then there's all the prospects that cancel meetings and waste your time, or they give you that deer in the headlights look when you do talk about your business with them, right? If only they could just see the big picture the way that you do, they would get involved immediately. But you don't have the words to get through to them. And that, by the way, is just the stuff that you're worried about, that, with regards to what others are thinking about your business. Because then there's all the stuff that you're worried about with yourself. So for example, we all hate being salesy and pressuring others to join. We hate being rejected. We hate alienating family and friends. And I know that some of you feel so uncomfortable talking about your offer that you hold yourself back from even sharing it, which is completely stopping your ability to grow your business. Perhaps you've even gotten to the point where you feel demotivated when you need to pick up that phone and really start making calls or sending emails. You know you need to take more action, but you just keep procrastinating for a whole variety of reasons. Maybe you even feel a pit in your stomach before calling a prospect, because you've already been burned, perhaps rejected, or you fear, your day of reckoning is on its way any day now. And of course, there's always the I'm not making enough money. Maybe you've already had the experience of spending the entire day on the phone or at a trade show without getting a single new customer or partner, or you've wasted marketing dollars on ideas that backfired. Maybe you've already gotten the talk from your significant other about how your new hobby is starting to get expensive. Or maybe your spouse or your family or your friends just aren't on board with you, and that's discouraging and undermining in some way. I'm saying all of this because there are so many reasons that we can come up with that challenge us in our business and prevent us from moving forward. And what I want to say is this is all normal. You can overcome these challenges. It doesn't matter what business you're in. There's lots of challenges that you face in network marketing and any other business for that matter. Any network marketer will have to overcome these challenges in order to make six figures. And in addition to these, we haven't even mentioned the challenges that specifically hold women back and prevent us from becoming top earners, right? Like every single mother on here knows what it's like to have to choose between family or business every single day. And no matter which choice you make, one always has to suffer. Lynn and I have talked about this several times. She says things, when she tells her story about, I'm so much better of a grandmother than I was a mom. We go through our lives learning how to negotiate between work and family and supporting our family, and it's hard. Now, there's nothing that men love more than to charge into battle, right? They don't necessarily share the guilt that moms experience from sacrificing family time to grow a new business, especially when we got into network marketing to have more free time in the first place. And to make matters worse, our male mentors can often, again, unknowingly be teaching us to be even more aggressive in our approach when there is a better way, one that feels more natural and more authentic. Sometimes men are telling us, and when I say men, most of the sales strategies and training out there has been led by men because that was just the course of the last 100 years. Men were leading in business. And so it is primarily their strategies that we've been practicing. And so this is what I'm talking about when I say men. It has to do with these practices. Some men have even told us to suppress our greatest advantage in the marketplace, which is our femininity. Like all that girly feeling, connecting stuff is like somehow bad for business. Sell, 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 close, 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 go hard, be aggressive, be macho, let's chest bump, which totally makes sense for them because they're men. But what I think that most people don't realize is how much we as women hate pretending to be something that we just aren't. Sometimes it seems like they're more comfortable with that, used car salesman persona, and most women can't stand it. But what we do love is being authentic and sharing and connecting. We like being who we really are. And to me, I think that the saddest part is that this advice for us, this way of being so aggressive, people insist on it and create all of these sales strategies assuming that we share those same motivations, which we don't. And while it's great advice for them and perhaps other men, it doesn't work for us women. Women aren't looking to conquer the world. We aren't really looking to conquer anyone or anything, right? We leave that to men. We want that. Men are our heroes and they're our conquerors. But nobody here is going to get their first big paycheck from network marketing and go out and buy a flashy colored sports car with it because we're having a midlife crisis, right? Maybe we would get some Botox or, I don't know, buy a new wardrobe, or maybe we wouldn't do that at all. What? What did you say, Lynn?
Nothing. Just laugh.
Right? I mean, we all love men, but our styles of communication and our motivations are just so unique to us. So everybody, I want you to write this down. What is your motivation to succeed? Just take a second and just jot this down. What is your motivation to succeed? Most of us are motivated for so much more, most of us women, for very straightforward reasons that are really a lot closer to home. I know that everything I do is for my daughter. It's the weirdest thing because she's only been around for 3.5 years. And so I keep asking myself, what in the heck was I doing pre 3.5 years ago? I mean, like, I don't even know, because that's how much of a reason, that's how much motivation she is for me to succeed. She's the reason I wake up in the morning and I keep going. And I know from talking to Lynn and hearing her story that everything that she does is for her kids and their kids, even more importantly. Right? Am I right about that?
That's what drives me. Yes, absolutely.
Right? And there's nothing, I mean, nothing that I find more fulfilling than working to build a future for my daughter. And I know that she feels the same way. So many people still to this day question the strength and the power that women have to offer. And I am telling you that there is no man out there who can bring even half of the intensity that I can bring to my business every single day, and that I know that you can, and that I know that Lynn does. And when I show you how to tap into these primal feminine instincts that you already have inside of you, you might be shocked at how quickly your biggest challenges begin to just go away, and how quickly your network marketing business shifts into overdrive. So let's talk about that. What is the big secret to 6 figures in network marketing? I have a really great acronym for it. It's called M.O.M. M.O.M. So M is for minimize the disadvantages of being a woman in network marketing. O is for optimize the strengths that make women better network marketers than men. And M, again, is model the pioneers who have already paved the way for women in network marketing. Who else agrees, and you can just answer this in the chat, that if they could just get over their biggest disadvantages, lead with their biggest strengths, and follow the exact strategies that have been proven to work with other women at the top of their game, just like Lynn, they could definitely make 6 figures in their network marketing businesses. Even if you're hardly making any money right now and you're a total beginner in network marketing, right? If you could get over your biggest disadvantages, lead with your biggest strengths, and follow the exact strategies that have been proven to work with other women at the top of their game, couldn't you do this thing? I can't even see the chat, Madison.
Yep, we've got a yes, and we've got an agreed yes.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Just making sure.
Yeah.
All right, so here is my promise to you. When you follow this simple formula, which I'm going to spell out in more detail, you're going to find that so many of the biggest challenges that have been holding you back simply start to vanish. Either that, or you're going to know exactly how to deal with them so that you can quickly move on to bigger and more profitable milestones. Opportunities will suddenly start to open up for you. And your downline will start to listen to you more and follow your lead like nothing you've ever seen before. And you'll be owning your natural feminine leadership skills. Believe me, there is no contradiction between being feminine and being a powerful and effective leader. If this thought has ever even crossed your mind, this 3-step mom formula is going to be especially life-changing for you. The more feminine you allow yourself to be, the more powerful you become, and the more money and success that you will attract. So as women, we have many more years of experience leading our children than most men do, right? Even compared to our husbands. I'm sure that you're going to agree that you've racked up quite a few hundred more hours handling the day-to-day affairs of managing your home. Women also have many years of experience honoring a strict code of loyalty with their girlfriends that men can't even begin to understand. They don't even get it. Like, why are we even doing this, right? We have so much untapped leadership potential, it's not even funny. So I'm going to show you how to take these powerful forces, which are totally second nature to you, which have defined you as a woman, which have been shaping you since the day you were born, and translate them into intuitive and incredibly effective business skills that will permanently change your network marketing business. In fact, my goal is that by the end of tonight, you will be redefining how you see yourself as a woman, as a woman, and you will change what you think is possible, what you think you're worth, and precisely who you are as a woman. You'll have everything that you need to totally reinvent yourself and the way that you relate to yourself and embrace a whole new vision for your life. So let's talk about step number 1 of the MOM formula. Okay. So secret number one is minimize the disadvantages that we women bring into network marketing. The first thing that we have to do if we ever hope to make 6 figures in network marketing is to minimize these disadvantages that we bring into the business. Unfortunately, we're not going to have enough time to discuss all of the disadvantages, but I want to talk about the biggest one of them all. Statistics predict that on average, each and every single one of you will automatically earn $20,000 more per year just because you overcome this one thing. Seriously, I did all of my research. I've been preparing this webinar for the last month, and so you can look these statistics up. But if I had to summarize the single biggest reason that women aren't getting the results that they want from network marketing, I would boil it down to the following sentence. The number one biggest network marketing disadvantage as women is that we don't ask for the help that we need. I already shared with you about how asking for help really changed the course of my life and the trajectory of my first business for sure, and really all my future businesses, because I just ask for help all the time now. Asking for help is perhaps the very reason that I believe in coaching so much, and it's certainly one of the reasons that I became a business coach. In theory, all of us know that we should ask for help more, right? When we're stuck. We all know that we should ask for help when we're stuck. We know that asking for help would make things a lot easier for us in our family life and in our network marketing business. But in practice, most of us women still don't actually push through our fears and actually do it. And it's not second nature for us. After coaching thousands of women entrepreneurs over the course of my career, it's become clear to me that this is the biggest reason that most of us aren't getting what we want out of our businesses. And this is especially true if you're a network marketer. We spend so much time nurturing and taking care of others, yet we don't feel comfortable asking for the same help that we're all too willing to give. When we think about asking for help, the first words that usually come out of our mouths are, oh, I don't want to bother whoever it is I might be asking. Many of us would rather suffer than ask for help. What did you say, Lynn?
I'm laughing because I can so relate to this just on my journey alone.
Right.
Asking for help. I mean, I asked for help. I knew I needed help, but where I went, it was always so difficult to figure out where to get the help and who to follow because there's so many people out there. And I always found that it wasn't congruent with who I am as a person. I couldn't do what they were asking me to do.
Right.
It wasn't me.
That's exactly right. And in fact, statistics even suggest that the wage gap between men and women actually reflects the ask gap between men and women. Because we are less comfortable as women asking for what we need, whereas men have no problem asking their bosses for a raise or asking their peers and mentors for referrals. They just do it. It's natural for them. So I'm not really here to debate any single statistic, or monetary value or its social implications. The fact remains that men do earn more than women on average, and that women do struggle with asking for what they need more than they should. And the effects of this dynamic are devastating. The average woman loses $20,000 by not asking for help. We know that average is in the workplace, right? Because she isn't asking for raises as she should be. And as you'll see in a minute, this tragic loss of income translates pretty smoothly into the network marketing world as well. In fact, this ask gap exists between men and women in virtually every aspect of life, and men are getting a pretty sweet deal from it. Honestly, if I had to come back as another gender, I would say I would be a man. Because not only are they making more money, but they don't even hesitate to ask women to meet so many of their physical needs, their emotional needs, and even their sexual needs without feeling the need to reciprocate. And here's the thing, again, I have to say it again, this is not about male bashing. This is about how they were raised and who they are as men in that gender. And that's one of the reasons why in 2016, men only provide 26 minutes of childcare for every hour that women provide. So I want to be really clear about something. It's not your fault, okay? It's not your fault that you don't ask for what you want. There are very real reasons why we tend not to ask for what we want. We didn't just wake up one day and then collectively decide as a gender that, we're all going to shoot ourselves in the foot and not ask for what we want. From an early age, boys are rewarded for speaking up while girls are criticized or even punished for it, still to this day. In fact, in most countries around the world, it's really crazy. After a little girl tries to ask for what she wants and is called irrational or emotional or unladylike for the 100 millionth time, it makes perfect sense that she might learn to stop asking for what she wants. It also makes sense why she might develop so many barriers which prevent her from even bothering to speak up and ask for help in the first place. When enough people send us this message that we shouldn't ask for what we want, we start to internalize a belief which says that our needs aren't important or worthy of asking for help. And once that happens, then we actually just start to ignore our own needs completely. Like Lynn said, we just get used to just doing it on our own and not asking for help. The thought doesn't even cross our minds that we have needs that we should be asking for help with. Some of us grow up to believe that asking for what we want is selfish, or that we shouldn't have to ask for what we want, or we don't even develop our asking skills. So we don't know how to ask. What words should we use when we ask? I can't tell you how many times I'll tell you more about this later, but in the Ambitious Women Success Club, when I'm coaching women and they call, I can't tell you how many times I have to actually coach them on how to ask for referrals. Like literally verbatim, they want the words to use because they're so not accustomed to utilizing those words. It's not in their vocabulary. So there are social and business norms that have really helped condition who we are today that we've got to pay attention to if we're going to change so that we can be successful. Not asking for help is not going to work anymore. When you don't ask for what you want, not only do you devalue yourself, which totally stinks, but you devalue your team and your business. So think about it. When you bring someone new to your team, you know they have a lot of potential to grow your business, but you don't ask them to step up and hold them accountable, right? Because you don't want to ask for help or ask or really put on those leadership skills. What happens is you're sending a message to the people around you and to yourself about how much you think that you're worth and how much you think that they are worth. And when you get rejected and you get distracted because you feel offended or hurt, instead of enthusiastically saying after the rejection, you know what, I totally get it. But if you aren't, that you're not interested in what I'm offering, but do you know anybody who might be? You are once again defaulting to this pattern that has been subconsciously holding you back for your whole life that devalues you, your team, and your business. You don't ask, you feel sad and defeated. You don't ask, you feel sad and defeated over and over again. And your network marketing business keeps suffering, which ultimately at the end of the day means your life ends up suffering because we're all in this for that why, for that motivation we talked about earlier. One of the biggest differences between people who get to 6 figures in network marketing versus people who don't is that the former group of people have mastered the art of asking for referrals, and they do it religiously, while the latter group hardly ever asks for referrals at all. So I want you to write this down. Obviously, after all of this talk about asking for help, this seems obvious, but it isn't. It's not obvious. It's not natural for us. So write this down, ask for help today. And then I want you to post it somewhere big, because starting today, now that you know, it is up to you to ask for help whenever you need it. So a minute ago, I said it's not your fault. Okay, but now you know. Now you know the secret. So now going forward, if you don't ask for help, it is absolutely 100% on you. It's one simple step which is going to make a world of difference. And top earners like Lynn know that there's almost nothing that's more reassuring than a positive endorsement from somebody that you know and trust. If you ask for referrals, listen to this. 1 in 4 people are guaranteed to provide you with at least 1 new lead free of charge. So can we all agree that 20% more leads coming to you for free might make a world of difference to your network marketing business? Right? I mean, I don't know if some of you have done this before and noticed how quickly the tides can change in your business when you started asking for help. I'm taking a sip of tea now, which you can't see. Anything you want to add to this, Lynn?
I'm thinking about how many people say to me, even in my own organization, when I offer help and I don't hear from them and I know they need it. And they say, every time they call me, they say, sorry to bother you, sorry to bother you, sorry to bother you. And it's the mindset that we, as women, like I said, we don't want to ask. And it's pretty amazing to me because I repeat over and over again, constantly when somebody says that, we're building a business together. I'm a nice person, but I make money off of helping you.
I want to help you. Let me help you.
But people don't want to ask. Sorry to bother you. Nobody wants to be a bother. Everybody wants to do it themselves.
Okay.
It's amazing. Right? So I love what you're saying.
Okay, good. We're all on the same page. So listen to this. This is pretty cool. Depending on which source you trust most, right? If you're asking for referrals in this example we were talking about, those new leads will be anywhere between 50 and 500% more likely to sign up with you. And that translates into a virtually guaranteed 40% spike in your business, all for free without any further time or money invested. Obviously, results are going to vary from person to person, but this is the average of what's possible just by asking for help. And I bet that is a whole lot more promising than harassing your friends and family, or cold calling, or dead advertising, or dead web marketing, or dead trade shows, or virtually any other strategy that you might be using right now that isn't working. And some of you just aren't using any strategy at all. So for sure, you're going to see that increase in profit. 100% of top earners are doing this. They are asking for referrals and help. They are talking to people that they know. If they're going to open up in another country like Australia or someplace like that, and they don't know anybody in Australia, how are they going to find people in Australia? They're going to go to LinkedIn. They're going to begin asking for referrals. Now, this isn't the only way that we're neglecting to ask for the help that we need to grow our network marketing businesses, but it's definitely one of the most expensive ways. If you don't start asking for help, you are essentially leaving 40% of your profits on the table, because at some point in your past, you were taught that you shouldn't ask for help, right? So we grew up believing that we shouldn't ask for help because we didn't want to bother people. We pushed the idea of asking for help out of our minds, and we automatically stopped asking for help. But now this is going to change, because I know now going forward, it's your responsibility to shift this if you want to be successful. So while you might not have known this in the past, now you know, and now it's critical to make the shift and begin utilizing the support of others to build your business. And by the way, let's talk about this 40% of your profits. Like, what could you be doing with an extra 40% boost in your income? Like, which bills would you pay first? What part of your next family vacation would that pay for? So I'm obviously a little crazy about writing things down tonight. So write this one down. Bossy too, right? I'm bossy. I'm a coach. What are you going to do? Write this down. If you had 40% more money in your bank account each month right now, what top 3 things would you do with it? Just write down 3 things that you would do with it. You can send it in the chat too if you want to. Madison, if anybody does, feel free to shout it out.
Of course.
It's important for us to get really clear on what that would do for our lives. For some of you, I don't know, you might buy a new purse. For others, you're going to pay your mortgage down faster.
Dana says she would pay off her student loans. Leah says she would save, travel, and give.
That's right. Charity is a huge one. There are so many ways that we can look at this asking principle, and later on we'll go into deeper applications of it. But for now, just keep in mind that without asking for the help that you need, none of the other secrets to 6-figure network marketing are going to work for you. So let's talk about secret number 2. Optimize the unique strengths which make women better network marketers than men. As you know, network marketing relies on direct sales more than anything else to grow and to thrive. So unfortunately, for us women, most of the best practices in sales were formed all the way back in the 1960s. In other words, modern selling was popularized back when there were hardly any women to refute some of the totally crazy ideas that men came up with that nobody knew at the time wouldn't work for women and were totally crazy for women. So by the time we started working alongside men in direct sales and network marketing, the used car salesman shtick that we all hate so much had already been perfected. It had already been the gold standard of selling, and men were already obsessed with it, even though any woman with a heartbeat could feel the creepy and sleazy vibe that a used car salespeople always put out there in the world, right? When I try to imagine what it must have been like to be one of those first women in direct sales, the picture always looks like some crazy joke to me. I picture the first rookie saleswoman joining the company, so excited and eager to get moving, right? And the men are eager to flirt with her. And the sales managers just patted her on the back end like she's one of the jocks. And he's told her to really lay on the sleeves and, for her next sales call. This very thing must have happened thousands of times at different sales companies all over the world. And all of those women must have been like, you have got to be kidding me. You are not serious. There's no way you're going to tell me to start selling like that. This is insane. And the most insane part is that this still happens today. All of these women, bless their souls, must have decided to give the men the benefit of the doubt, right? They must have thought to themselves, okay, this used car salesman thing is so terrible. It so obviously doesn't work that maybe we're missing something. Maybe these men know something that we don't know from all of their years of experience. And we've been, while we were kept out of the job market. And that's how I imagine that they went along with this cruel farce, right? It's the only reason that I can think of for why the used car salesman approach to selling is still a thing. And why so many women believe that if they want to make 6 figures in network marketing, that they're going to have to sacrifice their pride, their dignity, and their soul and become a used car saleswoman. So let me make this really, really clear. That natural instinct that you had about how horrific this is right. You were right. Because the used car salesman gimmick doesn't work for women, and you don't have to do it to earn 6 figures in network marketing. And you already knew this on a deep instinctive level, and you've always felt it in your gut because your women's intuition is a master of persuasion. So many women have no idea that they are naturally better at sales than men. Persuasion is in your DNA, and you've actually been one step away from tapping into this hidden superpower this whole time. And there's a good reason why most of us have had such a hard time believing that we have a selling superpower, right? Hiding dormantly inside. It's because we don't call it used car selling or even selling at all. We call it by a different name. We call it sharing. And this is where most men really get selling wrong from our perspective. The difference between the used car salesman approach and the sharing approach is huge, obviously. But the key difference is that sharing is about giving an amazing gift, while being a used car salesman is about selfishly taking something away for yourself, something that sometimes can be a great cost to the innocent victims that we are trying to convince to buy something that they don't want. Most of us already do this sharing in our everyday lives. For us, sharing is just second nature. So let's talk about how we share. We love sharing stories and we love talking. My goodness, I've been talking for 40 minutes now, and I love it. We love caring about other people. We love it. We love being honest. We love being authentic. We love being genuine. We don't want to do people harm. We don't want to try to scam them into buying something that they never wanted. If they don't have carpets, we don't, for crying out loud, want to try to sell them a vacuum cleaner and tell them that that's the right move, right? It doesn't make any sense. We don't want to build a bad reputation, and we don't want to lie to other people. Sharing, which is something we do naturally, is the secret to effortlessly winning people over, to getting them to sign up under you consistently, and to grow your network marketing business to 6 figures. And the minute that you start approaching people with a sharing mindset, you're going to start to see that they are less defensive. They are absolutely more willing to listen to you, and because they're off guard, and they are less likely to reject you. You'll be amazed at how much easier it becomes to actually build your downline. Plus, you're going to be able to look them in the eye and be 100% honest and authentic with a totally clear conscience. You're not going to have any of the lingering hesitation, that makes you feel scared or mumble when you talk. Everyone that you talk to will have a smile, and the whole process of convincing people about your opportunity will feel totally different and totally natural. Now, we don't have time to give you a full course on sharing. However, I do want to give you a quick overview of this approach to show you how and why it works so much better. So many network marketing companies promote an extremely sleazy approach. And I know that that's a really direct way of saying it, but it is, and it just flat out stinks. And I don't know what companies you're all from, and so it might not be your company, and that's okay, but just kind of track with me on this. Oftentimes, we get trained to walk up to people and say things like, hey, like you don't even know them. Hey, are you looking for a new opportunity? Or, do you keep your options open for making more money? And of course, you feel sick about doing it, and the person is going to look at you like you're nuts most of the time, because you are. Because who are you? And why are you talking to them, right? It's weird and it's disturbing. And if you want someone to powerfully listen to your opportunity and engage while listening, you have to get permission from them to listen. They have to want to listen. So I want you to write this down. Does this make sense, Lynn?
Uh-huh. Yes.
So I want you to write this down. How do you feel when someone stops you at the grocery store and asks you to sign something? Just think about it for a minute, right? You know, when you go to the supermarket and someone tries to stop you to either promote their cause or sign a petition or ask you for money. How does that make you feel? And I just want you to be honest. You can tell me in the chat box.
Nikki O'Day says annoyed. Leah Jones Allen says it makes her feel nervous. Robin says it makes me feel intruded upon. Nancy says really annoying.
Right. Okay, good. I'm so glad that you all said that. It could have this is the first time I'm doing this webinar. It could have completely backfired and you could have all told me I was crazy. So I'm glad we all feel the same. That means we're on the right track here. You hate it. It's aggravating. And it isn't aggravating because the cause isn't important. And it's not aggravating because the people who are talking to you aren't valuable. But it's because you're on a mission, right? You have your own agenda and they're interrupting it. So you're not listening powerfully. So they're not going to get very far. And that's a shame because they probably have something really important to communicate, just like you do when you want to share your opportunity. Now, that doesn't mean, by the way, that a few people won't listen to you, right? And you've all done it. We've all done it. Companies have taught us to do it. And we've done it, and sometimes it works, okay? But it's a small percentage. So then it becomes this massive numbers game. Like you have to talk to so many people, when if you had asked and used our sharing approach and things of that nature, you would be able to really leverage the relationships that you have and are building. So perhaps you will get a few people to listen to you by doing that method. But ladies, I know that that's not what you want to do, to try to get people to listen to you. We don't want to try to get people to listen to us. We just want them to listen to us. That's the painful part of selling this way. And that's the painful part of how we've been taught. We don't want to do it, and we don't want others to do it to us. So as long as you're not driving, I want you to take a minute, close your eyes, and just imagine this scenario. You're at the grocery store, and the woman checking you out, let's call her Michelle. She's attentive, she's efficient, she's charismatic. She's just awesome. She's just really doing a great job. She's displaying some leadership skills that you're picking up on, and it feels impressive. And you think to yourself, she's pretty great. I like this woman. I'd like to have someone like her on my team. Now imagine before leaving, you say, thank you, Michelle, for making my shopping experience great. You were so helpful, and you have such a great personality. I have no idea what your future aspirations are, but I'm an entrepreneur. I'm currently expanding my business, and I am looking for ambitious, smart, hardworking partners, and I would love to talk to you more about it at a different time if you're open. Then if she says yes, you get her phone number, you ask her when the best time to call is, and then call her to schedule a time to share your business opportunity with her. This is one of many ways that you could have this conversation. But because this is sharing. It's not sleazy. It's not dishonest. It's straightforward, right? Because you said something that you really noticed. You should never go up to someone and tell them that they have leadership skills and that they're totally awesome when they're not, right? It's ridiculous and it's inauthentic. And you don't need a sale that bad. And that's not who we are as women. But this type of sharing is straightforward, it's honest, and it makes sense for the situation. Another example, you call an acquaintance and say, I have an opportunity that I want to talk to you about, which of course begs the question, well, what is it? To which, if you're using the sleazy approach, you would say, you know what, come to a meeting and you'll find out more about it then. And now this new prospect's guard is up. And it should be up because that's a weird thing to say to somebody. They want to know more, and you're clearly withholding information from them because the way that you had a conversation with them is not natural. It doesn't make sense. You're not respecting their right to decide. They asked you for more information. They want to decide whether the opportunity is really worthwhile. To them, it's a really big red flag. And you know what I'm talking about because we have all unsuccessfully tried on all of these strange pitches instead of just sharing authentically and naturally. And your prospect, while perhaps still curious about the opportunity, maybe is filled with doubt and skepticism. Instead of feeling excited, they're on high alert. And they will raise so many more objections if you even get to the point of trying to have a conversation with them. It's exhausting, isn't it? It's so much more straightforward, intuitive, and fun to share the honest details, just like you've always done with your best girlfriends. So just give them the most important facts. There's no reason to talk too much up front. We're not going to get into this exact sharing strategy, but there's, it's about piquing their interest and booking a time for them to really listen to you powerfully. So here are some sharing basics that I'll share with you, even though we can't get into all the details here. You're telling them who you are. You're telling them what company you're with. You're telling them why I'm thinking of you, just like we did with the woman at the grocery store. We're saying to them, you seem like you're so on it and all of those other things. And then you're piquing their interest and telling them to schedule some time to speak with you later. And this is just an overview. It's important that you understand how to do each of these. But generally, sharing like this works so much better than the used car salesman approach. So think of it, right? Nobody's going to ask you, this is just another example. And, nobody's going to imagine, like, no one's going to ask you to see a movie if we just get into the girlfriend conversation. No one's going to ask you to see a movie by saying, hey, Lynn, do you want to see a movie with me? And then you say, sure, which one? And I say, well, just come to the theater and find out. Right? Like, you're probably much more likely to come with me when I say, hey, come join me to watch this movie. You're going to love it because it's your favorite genre, your favorite actors in it, and it's a lot like 3 other movies that I know that you love. Oh, and by the way, you should come and see this with me tonight because I have an extra ticket for a free screening. So it's going to be a rare opportunity for you to actually meet the members of the cast. So you see how much better that sharing approach feels just on a gut level?
Absolutely.
Right? Can you see yourself using the sharing principle to really get a big breakthrough in your network marketing businesses?
Totally.
Lynn, does this resonate with you?
100%. The story about the person who gave the good service, I mean, word for word, that's what I said. And people, when somebody gives you the good service or, is somebody that you really see and know that you would like to work with them, they have a wonderful personality, they went above and beyond, and you have those thoughts that say, wow, I'd like to work with that person. It feels good to tell them that, that you're launching your business or whatever you're doing, and thanks for the great service, and maybe I'm expanding my business and I'd love to work with somebody like you. That's authentic. To me, that's authentic. It's just real life and it's honest. So I love this.
Good. Okay, so with that, why don't I move to step number 3 of our 6-figure mom formula, which is to model the pioneers who've already paved the way for women in network marketing. This is the third and perhaps the most important step to earning 6 figures in network marketing. In fact, if you had the right mentoring, you probably, most people wouldn't be seeking that mentoring, right? If you had hands-on access to a mentor whenever you want it, right there at the palm of your hands when you need them, you'd be too busy learning about the tricks of the trade that they use to get 6 figures and beyond, right? So ask any top performer, ask Lynn from network marketing or any other field, and they will tell you immediately that your mentors and coaches are so important. And that's why they'll do whatever it takes to seek them out in the early stages of their career. And as they become more successful, they keep seeking out more and more advanced mentoring. The learning never stops. But most of us don't have access to the mentors that we need, certainly not enough access. And many of us don't know where to look to find these mentors. Sometimes we have, we've got these top earners like Lynn, and there are so many others, but we don't always get the access that we need all the time when we need it. So what if you had access to the right mentors, right? Ones who specifically figured out how to be excellent network marketers and while maintaining an excellent home life at the same time? Then of course you would have an incredible advantage. I have the honor of having partnered with some of these top earning women in network marketing, and believe me, you really want to know who they are. Lynn is at the top of my list. But we've got our Lynn Allen Johnsons and our Esther Spinas and our Amber Voigts and our Whitney Husbands and our Pasha Carters and our John Ferentinos and our Lisa Wilbers and our Lynn Bardowskis and our Haley Hobsons and our Tracy Schumakers and our Maria Gudaris, and they are all millionaires and advocates of women, and they are all women who empower women by sharing their stories on stages around the world. And in some ways, they're just like everybody else, but in other ways, they are very different. For example, they travel a lot all over the world. They have global teams with thousands of members. They bring their families with them wherever they go. So in some ways, life often feels like an ongoing vacation because they get to do both at the same time. They can afford the absolute best that life has to offer. You know, their needs are covered by their income, including the best opportunities for their children and their grandchildren. You know, school, additional learning programs, camps, sports. They eat good, healthy food and are able to buy it for their families. They have wonderful homes. And some of them have a lot of lifestyle bonuses like shopping or health and wellness goodies like weekly massages. And I know Lynn's favorite thing in the world is visiting is her spa weekends, you know, and giving to charities. I heard a few people saying that on the line. So not only are their lives more fulfilling and adventurous, but these women are totally feminine and total powerhouses. And I really want you to hear that. They're totally feminine. Lynn Allen Johnson is not running around being a used car salesman. She's sharing. She's asking for help. She asks for referrals. She gets to know people. She's a leader. You won't find 11 women who are more respected than the 11 women that I just mentioned at home and in their businesses. Not even the most macho guy will mess with them because they're so in touch with their feminine power. If you want to get to 6 figures in network marketing and you happen to be a woman, these are the people that you should be specifically paying attention to. And I know you're paying attention to Lynn because that's why you're all here tonight. And if you have a family, it's even more important for you to pay attention to these women because all of them have been where you are today. And they understand the challenges that you're facing right now. They work hard. They have failed over and over and over. Oh my gosh, Lynn's story is like my favorite. And they get scared still to this day. They are incredible examples of what achieving success in network marketing looks like. And I strongly encourage you to learn whatever you can about them from your own research. Read their stories, listen to their videos, watch their, hear them speak. Just learning more about their backstories will inspire you to do more. Sometimes these women are so sharp that they can actually identify those, that one thing that's holding you back from 6 figures above everything else so that you can immediately change the trajectory of your business in the same way that that coach helped me when I was in my vending business. So again, pay attention to everything that they say. Reach out to them. I always encourage people to reach out to the greatest mentors. Don't be afraid to do it. You know what? Follow them. If they don't answer you back, it's okay. Don't take it personally. These women are incredibly willing to share, which is why they have big communities that you can follow, be on their Facebook pages, read their stories and videos, but they're also really, really, really busy. So if you want guaranteed access to the top advice and strategies that these top earners have to offer, if you're looking for better ways to ask for help, the help that you need, or if you want to master the sharing technique that we just introduced and touched on briefly here, there's a better way to do all of this. How does guaranteed access to these women sound? Because it sounds really good to me. And so last year, I decided to do something that nobody had ever done before. I decided to bring all of the top women in network marketing together and study their methods and strategies and interview them and ask them questions. I used my unique experience as a women's business coach and someone who for the last 18 years has been training network marketers to deconstruct the challenges that are most relevant to women in network marketing. So never before have we created something where we can spot the common mindsets, habits, and strategies that these top earners share and turn them into straightforward advice that any woman can put into action right away. We came up with a totally new blueprint for women. Plus, I poured my 20 years of high-level business coaching into the mix. I thought that would be helpful to really create a powerful resource for women in network marketing. And then I went further. One of the greatest challenges with women entrepreneurs in general is that they don't have enough time. They're so busy trying to balance their family, with their business life that they simply can't afford to waste an extra moment on irrelevant information. So I wanted to make it as easy as possible for women to ask for the help that they need right when they need it, so they could quickly solve their problems. So Lynn, if it's okay with you, I would like to share the AWSC club with them.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Great.
And this is why I created this. For all of these reasons, I created the Ambitious Women Success Club, and I have the most incredible ambassadors, including Lynn, who support and advocate for women globally. So the Ambitious Women Success Club is the only place in the world where women entrepreneurs can get instant advice to overcome their biggest business problems. I've designed the Ambitious Women Success Club so that you automatically follow that M.O.M formula for earning 6 figures in network marketing. So let's talk about what this club is and what you get. So the very first thing that you get is an on-demand service called the Ambitious Women Success Club Hotline. This hotline is your opportunity to start asking for the help that you need until it becomes a hardened habit. So just by giving yourself daily access to help and making it easy to ask for it, you'll have an incredible advantage. The hotline gives you unbridled access to specialized business coaches on speed dial. You can call anytime during business hours, Monday through Friday. And it doesn't matter where you're at in your business, okay? So whether you're generating $500 a month, $5,000 a month, $50,000 a month, you always need a coach. This is why Olympic athletes, multi-platinum musicians, and Fortune 500 CEOs all have coaches. This is why I have 3 coaches. Because if you want to be successful and you want to stay successful, you have to be consistent and always be pushing outside of your comfort zone. And you have to keep your eye on the ball. And that only happens with a coach. We just had this incredible interview, Lynn Allen Johnson, with Lynn Bardowski. Do you know Lynn Bardowski?
I don't.
She is just like you, top earner. She's a total superstar. And she was at the top, and then she stopped paying attention to her business. She just let it go. And within a year's time, her business crashed. And she had to rebuild it, and it took her 2 years. And I want to share that, because that's what we mean when we say you have to keep your eye on the ball. You have to know what's going on in your business. And you have to keep, it's okay to take vacations and go and do all the wonderful things that one would want to do when they become a top earner. But you also have to pay attention to what's going on with your business. Each of our coaches have already built 6 or 7 figure businesses for themselves. Their average rate to hire them is $500 an hour. But thanks to our hotline, you're going to get access to their advice for a lot less money. It's never been easier for you to ask for what you need. On any given day, you can call our hotline and have an immediate breakthrough in your network marketing business. So just think about the next big challenge you're going to have in your network business, or the one that you're having right now, and imagine calling the hotline number and getting the exact field-tested solution that's already been proven to work by women who already have the results that you want. So, imagine, when getting your questions answered and really discovering the reasons why your marketing is broken, right? Along with step-by-step instructions on how you're supposed to fix it, or a laundry list of techniques for avoiding unexpected business expenses, right? Especially when you're famous for spending too much. I sometimes have that problem. A works every time phrase that will immediately cut your rejections in half. Or why women are chronic procrastinators when it comes to their network marketing goals, and ruthlessly productive in other areas, and what you need to do to move past that. And how to kill, finally, that inner used car salesman, and how to start using that sharing technique. We talk about self-confidence on the hotline, how to get rid of butterflies in your stomach before you start a conversation, and effortless ways to really handle the unexpected, so that you can actually use self-doubt and insecurity and not knowing all the answers to your advantage. We talk about, when you're talking to, how to have like a great month in earnings while carving out more time for your family, getting more specific, learning how to prioritize. And we even help you really learn how to motivate your team without them noticing, because not everybody wants like that raw person. They're like, really? So I've got some good sneaky techniques to share with you so that they don't notice, but they start doing a lot more. We deal with all of this on the hotline. In addition to the hotline, the Ambitious Women Success Club also comes with behind the curtain access to the most innovative and exciting top women in network marketing. This is my most favorite part besides the hotline of the Ambitious Women Success Club. So each week we have specialty training sessions and interviews with these top women in network marketing and direct sales. So Lynn, I think have you done a training with us yet, or just, I think you shared your story.
I did the rap start.
That's right. And so she will be very shortly doing a training with us. It's just so wonderful to get the insider information about not only how they're building their businesses, but their journey to the top. As a member of the Ambitious Women Success Club, you'll also receive easy to digest how-tos on relevant business topics. All right. So you're going to learn how to create a personal brand, get organized, manage your time, generate more sales. And every guide has a corresponding action plan to help you put your knowledge into motion. What's cool about this, everyone, is we're not, you get training from your companies. We're going to teach you how to be an entrepreneur, right? So they have the best ways that they know about the features and benefits of their products and services and the opportunity and all of that. We're going to show you how to be a better entrepreneur so that all of that works even better for you. Okay. So what you're going to create when you become a member of the Ambitious Women Success Club is a real personalized way of doing business that works for you, your style, your schedule, your priorities. You will have an effortless ability to be able to attract enthusiastic customers and engaged partners instead of, pushing them away with our dirty used car salesman approach. You're going to have more confidence when you share your offerings, and you're going to have an asset. Your business is your asset that's going to pay you each and every month. So you get the daily hotline, you get the weekly mentoring calls, you get the specialty calls and the interviews, you get the guides and the action plans, and you will also get the following really incredible bonuses. The first bonus is access to our private Facebook page, which is such a huge resource for our members. Everybody who's in there is a paid member. They're there to support everyone, no matter what company they're from or what level they're at in their business. And it is a safe zone. There is no recruiting. We are very strict about that. You are just there to be able to be a woman in network marketing and get supported by other women in network marketing. Bonus number 2 is the Millionaire Mindset Guide. I wrote this. I would love to share it with you. It includes 10 of the most powerful beliefs of highly successful people around the globe. So I interviewed millionaires around the world, and these are the beliefs that are really going to make a difference in your business. These beliefs determine whether you're going to be successful or you won't, because the way that you think completely dictates the way that you behave. And then the final bonus is, Lynn and I came up with this afternoon. We thought that you would enjoy my Frustrated to Fabulous book. It's called Frustrated to Fabulous in 6 Simple Steps. It is a 150-page ebook, so it's not like a little tiny nothing book. It's 150 pages. And in this book, you will discover the secret success formula. I said sex formula. I obviously need to hang out with my honey more. In this book, you will discover the secret success formula for busy women who want it all. And that, of course, would be all of us. Okay, so we've had some incredible success stories in the Ambitious Women Success Club that I would love to share. I'm just going to bust through some of these. I love these women, and there's a couple men in here so much, I can't even stand it. Kirsten Ramasar, network marketer. After applying the principles she says that I worked on with Amy, my monthly team production went from under 15,000 to over 62,000 in just 4 months. Agatha, her business was floundering for 3 years. She says, I was consistently stuck at 4,000 a month. I applied Amy's principles, and after 6 months, my income shot from 4,000 per month to 10K per month and kept growing. And that's the man, skipping him. In a few short months following AWSC's advice, I increased my monthly business income by $1,500 a month. Sandra D. Robinson. I'm just going to bust through some of these, so if I skip some, please forgive me. This one's really great because Anne just loves calling the hotline and knowing that it's there for her when she needs it. And Cindy Prince, I wanted to share this with you. Cindy Prince is not a network marketer, but it's very important that you know that as I head up the Ambitious Women Success Club, that I'm a top business coach, and it's important that you know that I help entrepreneurs globally. So we're going to be able to use that and apply it to your business. We helped Cindy land her first national account, which most of you have heard of. It's called Whole Foods. It's a grocery store chain, one of the biggest in the country. We helped her get featured in InStyle magazine and triple her income. This is Brandon Scott, and we helped him promote twice. This is Leon Levine, and Leon's revenues went up 40% in less than 3 months. This is Kelsey, beautiful ACOC with her 2 gorgeous children. She successfully launched her new blog and brought on 4 new business partners. And here's Leslie Hart. She used AWSC to not only improve her business, but her family life, which was really cool. And then finally, Michelle Perzan. After joining AWSC, her confidence went through the roof and her business income tripled, which is insane. It's awesome. So enough of these success stories, enough of these sex stories. I could go on all day because I just love these women, and I'm so proud of each of them. Being an ambitious Women's Success Club member means that you have all the resources and support that you need to achieve the success that you want and work really hard for. It means that you have a lifeline when you need it. So imagine your next holy you-know-what moment. Your kitchen's a mess. Your kids are acting crazy. Everything that could go wrong is going wrong, and everyone's hurling demands and complaints at you, right? You've got this big opportunity in a few hours. You're anxious. Your makeup's running down your face. You're kind of freaking out because you're not really prepared. You feel like a mess, and the clock is ticking. So what do? Well, you phone a friend, of course, just like the contestants of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire did. Do you guys remember that show?
Oh, yeah. Regis.
Well, no, what you do is you call the hotline, right? And on the other end of the phone is a trained business coach who specializes in solving your problems. So when you become an Ambitious Women's Success Club member, you get access to this hotline, as well as everything else that we talked about, the calls, the guides. So what is your investment? So the bonuses that you're going to be getting for free are valued at over $1,497. So you're already saving almost $1,500 just by signing up to become a member. And remember, the standard cost of coaching is almost $500 per hour just for one 60-minute appointment. And then finally, when we created the Ambitious Women Success Club, we made a commitment. Our commitment was to provide access to the best coaches for a price that makes sense for everybody. So you didn't have to spend $500 on coaching. So we have 2 options for you. Option number 1 is you can pay monthly, and it's $99 per month, and it auto-renews monthly, and you can cancel anytime. And option number 2 is you can pay $10.49 up front and save $120. But tonight, for Lynn's community, we have a special offer for those of you who buy the yearly. Tonight, you can purchase the yearly membership for just $9.49. which is a savings of $239 for the year. And then remember, for those of you who sign up before we end the call, because we'll do a little Q&A here for anybody who wants it, you will also get that fast action bonus, my book, Frustrated to Fabulous in 6 Simple Steps. So for those of you who are ready to sign up and get all 3 bonuses, including that fast action bonus, you can do that now by going here. It's very simple, www.aw, which stands for Ambitious Women, successclub.com/Lynn Allen Johnson. And for those of you who are going to take advantage of the yearly membership, please put in the coupon code AWSC Lynn. AWSC Lynn. Okay. So I should also tell everyone that if you do take advantage of the yearly, we do have a special money-back guarantee, but we do have a very strict refund policy. I think I should explain it. Should I explain it really quick, Lynn?
Yes.
Okay. So there is no guarantee on the $99 per month option, right? Because you can cancel at any time. So we won't bill you. We just won't bill you for the following month if you call and cancel. But we do have a special 15-day money-back guarantee for those of you who purchased the 1-year membership. So let me tell you how it works. If you use the hotline at least 3 times per week over a 2-week period, right, and you attend both of the weekly mentoring calls over the course of the 15 days and aren't satisfied, we will gladly refund you your money. But if you don't utilize the coaching, we won't offer you the refund. Now, I just want to say this. We don't do this to be tricky, and I know exactly how Lynn works, so she'll back me up on this. Our policy is strict because we only want people to join the club who are truly committed and are going to do the work. And by all means, if you're doing the work and you're calling us and you don't love the coaching that you've tried for 15 days, then we will gladly give you your money back because we know we did our best. But if you don't actually do any of the work, then you didn't do your best. And so that's why we do it that way. Okay, so we wanted you just to see the total value of your membership. So if you had to hire a coach like me, it would cost a minimum of $500 per hour. So you can just see here that with all the other goodies that you're getting, the weekly mentoring, the specialty calls, and then the top, earning women across the globe and the guides and the action plans, not including the bonuses, the total value is $3,800 per month, and you're getting it for $99 per month or $949 up front. And if any of you have ever hired a coach, have ever hired a coach before, we've done our best job to make this as affordable as possible. All right, so to get registered, you just go to that here, again, really quickly, awsuccessclub.com/Lynn Allen Johnson. And when you go there, you'll see this little form. You'll fill it out. It'll be super easy. Remember to enter AWSC Lynn into the coupon code box if you're buying the one-year membership. And then a few minutes after that, you will receive a welcome to the club email with all of your login details. And then you can actually start using the service. So any of you who join us tonight, you can actually start calling the hotline tomorrow. Now, if for any reason you don't get an email from us, then check your junk folder or reach out to Lynn and let her know. She will, you can reach out to Madison at awsuccessclub.com, and we will make sure that you are taken care of. Lynn, we did it.
Yes, we did. And I want to say something as you're talking. First of all, I've gotten a couple emails from people that said, hey, there were men on the call. You should have said it was for just women. And it made me laugh because I thought ambitious women meant that it was for women. But anyway,
that's okay. We love men. And hopefully men maybe learn something from tonight, because they can actually, we've only had one way of learning, and we've been following that way for a long time, and still somehow women have managed to be successful. But perhaps men can also learn from us some of our styles. But what's even more important about the men that were on here tonight is that they know this information so that they can share it with their downlines. And I'm really glad, because they're going to be bringing women into their business. And actually, Lynn, you just said something that is so important. I need to say that in this webinar next time. I need to say, if you're a man, take this new style and share it with others.
It's really interesting, because as I'm listening to you, and I don't have the list of who's on the call, but I know some people who I have already sent here. And of course, I've been through here. And it's amazing to me because there are several people that I know personally, women, that I know want this business more than anything. Yeah. And as you were talking, I was getting like all emotional, because I know that hearing from somebody other than me is better for them, because we're too close. And what I was going to tell them was going to work, they would have already been successful, that type of thing. And so the idea of all of the coaches, it's so empowering to me, because I've listened to some of the ladies speak, and I took massive notes, and I'm always learning, and leaders always learn. And one person can say it in a certain way, and even though we may all be saying the same thing, it resonates with somebody else. Yeah. And I know there are ladies in my organization that want this, that believe in it, that love where they are, and they're stuck. And they're stuck because they don't believe in themselves, and they have fear, and it's got everything to do with what's between their ears. And I have a lady that joined this, and she said, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. And I was told to call the hotline every day. So I said, okay. Huh?
Not only can she call every day, but if she has more than one question that day, she can call more than once.
So I wanted to offer this because like I said, my heart is to help people do this. And I know it's beyond me. It's all of us together that are going to make this happen. And there's some powerful, powerful, successful coaches in here. And so I just love it. And I hope the women that are here who are looking to build a network marketing business, and you know who you are, will take advantage of this. But it's like what you said, Amy, if they, you know, you can't do anything unless they're committed and they're going to do their part.
That's right.
You know, it's kind of like losing weight. If they're not going to follow a plan, you know, and they want to, you know, eat all junk food, it isn't going to happen. So I love that this is here and that you and I connected, because this is the most powerful thing that I have ever experienced. And
oh my gosh, thank you.
I'm really happy to be a part of this.
This means so much to me, Lynn, because we've been working really hard on this material, and it's the first time I delivered it. So I know I probably got tripped up sometimes, but it's the first time I've ever delivered this material, but I feel so incredibly passionate about it. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to share this with everyone. And I don't want any men to walk away from this feeling anything less than empowered with the knowledge that, hey, you know, you wear different underwear than we do. Like, we communicate differently. We do things differently. And that's really the takeaway here. And as men who are leaders in network marketing and direct sales, we do a disservice by not knowing that. And by knowing it, we can say, you know what, you need some female leadership to be able to help you with some of these strategies. So I thought if you like, Lynn, I can stick around. I thought maybe we could answer some questions if anybody has any.
That I'm great with that. And it's so interesting to me, you know, when we first met, and we talked about this, and it's because I resonate better in my business with women. If there's a man prospect, I usually will defer him to a man, because I work better with women because I relate to women, and I think we're better networkers. We are naturally nurturing, and we have a natural ability to do this. And, you know, we're stuck because we spend our whole life as caretakers for other people, and we limit our possibilities. So I love this. And yes, if people have questions, I'm fine sticking around. So you take it. I don't know how to do the job.
I don't know if we do. Do we have any questions, Madison?
Yeah, we just had just about 3 questions that came in through the Q&A, so I will ask those out loud. Right now, one of the questions that we got was, how is coaching different than my company training?
That's a great question. Typically, and Lynn can probably help me with this too, typically in your company training, what you're going to get is their system for not only recruiting, but their system for how to talk about the product, the service, the opportunity, you know, whatever it is in your company. They know the features and benefits better than anybody. We're going to be talking about how to be an entrepreneur and how to deal with all of the personal issues, the prioritization issues, you know, being able to be more of a leader. I mean, there are so many things that we deal with both on the personal development side and on the business development side, everything from administration and branding and marketing. It's more about you and you showing up as the most powerful entrepreneur that you can be. And that is, most companies are not coaches. Not only are your upline not coaches, but the corporate, they're not coaches. So it's different. It's different. This is such a beautiful marriage of the two.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Amy. I hope that answers your question, whoever asked that anonymously. So Nikki just wrote into the chat and she says, what if my questions calling the hotline are not quick and easy? What if I'm not even certain what I need, but know I need something? LOL.
That's okay. That's a perfect reason to call the hotline. You're going to get on the hotline and go, okay, so I'm calling the hotline because I need help. I don't even know what I need help with. We're trained. We know what to ask. We know what questions to ask. We're going to begin by going, all right, so what are you struggling with? What's your biggest challenge right now? And we're going to get that conversation going. We're going to begin to dig a little bit and start getting you to start expressing yourself. We'll help you express yourself so that we can actually identify the core challenge that you're dealing with so that we can turn around, give you some coaching around it, give you some action steps to take, and then encourage you to call us back to tell us how it's going and then move you keep moving you forward. Great question.
Awesome. Thanks, Nikki. That was an awesome question. Another one that came in through the Q&A is, how do the weekly group mentoring calls work?
You know what I realized? I kind of skipped that. So let me tell you how that works. The way the weekly group mentoring calls work is every week on Wednesdays at 12 o'clock Pacific, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern, we have a group call. I always spearhead that call, and all of our members are invited to listen in and participate, ask their questions. What's great about it is it's kind of like what you would do on the hotline, but it's more group format. And in the group format, sometimes people feel like they can relate to others. They get that feeling of sharing whatever issues that are going on with them, with the other entrepreneurs in the group. Not only do they benefit from their own questions that they answer, but they benefit from the questions that everybody else answers. So it's really group format coaching. Great question. Thank you.
Awesome. Perfect. So it looks like we have one last question that says, kind of on that same vein, what if I miss a mentoring call or a specialty call?
Oh, that's a great question. If you miss a call, we don't archive the hotline calls, but we archive all the rest of the calls. Obviously, the hotline calls are private, but everything else is archived. So you'll just go to the membership site, you'll log in, and your calls will be there.
Awesome. Karen said, right now I am doing a wrinkle and wine and time party, and I made up invitations for all my neighbors. We are new here. Is this deceiving? How can I break the ice and open the doors?
Can you ask me that again?
Yeah. So Karen, sorry, I've got my headphones plugged in. Karen says, right now I'm doing a wrinkle and wine and time party.
Okay.
And I made up invitations for all my neighbors. She said, we are new here. So is this deceiving, and how can I break the ice and open the doors?
I think I don't understand the question. I think is that a specific kind of party, Lynn, that you guys do?
I'm not sure either.
Okay.
I'm not sure I understand the question. It sounds like somebody sent out invitations and people maybe aren't sure why they're coming. I'm not sure I understand that question.
Yeah, I think it's, so I don't really know how to answer it because I think we're unclear. So maybe you could ask it again, maybe try something different because I think it's late and my brain it's just not penetrating for me. But I believe in being as straightforward as possible. I will tell you that. You don't want to tell people that they're coming to a makeup party and then when they get there, it's something else.
Right.
So that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions?
That's all the questions that I see. I see that Chris said, thanks so much for your knowledge and sharing. Yay. You're welcome.
Absolutely. And you know what I was going to say too to everyone is, please, this is the first time I've done this webinar, and I know that the people that Lynn know in her life are the most honest and authentic because I know that's who she attracts in her life. So please, if you could, would you send me some feedback? You can send it directly to me, to my email at Amy, A-M-Y, at Amy Applebaum, which is apple like the fruit, B-A-U-M.com. Amy, A-M-Y, at amyapplebaum.com. I would love your feedback. What did you like about it, and what didn't you like about it so that I can improve it? That would mean a lot. And Lynn, of course, if you get any feedback, by all means, please share that with me.
I will. I'm looking at comments going across the thing. People are still typing.
Oh, good. Oh, they're giving me feedback now. I love that. Thank you.
Madison, is there a question or you're answering?
So Nikki, excuse me, Nikki asked, do we get the ebook if we do the $99 a month? And yes, if you sign up in the next 4 minutes and 7 seconds, you absolutely do. You sign up for monthly or yearly. See, Marianne asked the question, are there certain hours and certain coaches available each day?
Yes. Yes, there are. Do you have the hours offhand? Because my brain is just trashed right now.
Yes, I will have them in just like 2.
I think I've got it. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the hotline is open from 10 to 2 Pacific, which is 12 to 4 Central. which is 1 to 5 Eastern. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's 1 to 5.
Yeah.
3 to 7 Central. You like how I'm calculating this? 4 to 8 Eastern.
Yeah.
So there's a nice assortment of morning and evening hours for you to choose from. And yes, you can call as many times as you like. Most people don't, you know, the most important, there's 2 real things you want to do with that hotline. A, you need to make sure you're calling at least once per week. Put it in your schedule. You've got to be checking in with a coach once per week. And then 2, use it for any time you have a question or you're stuck or you feel challenged or you need to get on track. This way you know that you've got your once a week accountability call, and then it's there for you whenever you need it for anything else.
Awesome. So it looks like we had a follow-up question to that, Amy. Someone said anonymously, am I assigned a coach?
You are not assigned a coach. And there's a reason that we do it that way. But that doesn't mean, by the way, that you can't continue to call the coach that you love. Just ask them when they're going to be on the hotline next. But you are not assigned a coach because we want you to experience the different coaches. There are different people who will have different viewpoints or resonate more with your personality. We don't want to stick you in that situation. If you're not, if you need help or you're having problems, we haven't had any negative feedback on our coaches yet. So, but if you have a problem, then you would just let us know and we'll take care of whatever it is that you want.
Cool. So Nancy has a question really quickly. I think this pertains to this specific webinar. She says, if people miss the call and get the recording, can they still get the bonuses?
If people miss the call and get the recording.
If people weren't able to be here tonight and they want to sign up and they can listen to the recording and do it.
Yes, the only recording I think they don't get is the fast action bonus.
Which is the...
That's the Frustrated to Fabulous ebook.
Yes.
The Fabulous ebook. But it's not very expensive and they can purchase it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time writing that.
Yeah, you did. Leah said, thank you for this insightful webinar on women's strengths.
Oh, good. You're so welcome. I hope it didn't feel like male bashing. You know, I really don't want that. But I think there are some things that I can do to make sure that doesn't happen.
Karen just wrote she can't get on the site or something.
So I just shared, ladies, I'm sorry, I've been sick today, so my brain is a little spotty as well. I just shared the link in the chat box, so you guys can just click straight to that and go straight to the website if you need to. Don't forget your coupon, which I'm also adding to the chat.
Is Lynn's website's not working? Is that what's happening?
It might not be, but no, never fear. I am a genius and can handle it.
And if anybody has any questions or anybody here wants to send me an email and has any comments or anything about tonight or wants to chat about it, feel free to email me as well or call me if you know my number and all that kind of good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone. This has been a pleasure, Lynn. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you. Amazing.
You know, it's my pleasure, and I want to thank you guys, and thank you to Madison. And I'm really excited about this, and I have a feeling that after the group from tonight gets started that we're going to have to do this again so that they'll be able to invite other women to the group and so they can get those specials, the ones that aren't here tonight.
Absolutely.
That's something you would do again?
Absolutely, of course. Yep.
Okay. So we just start where we are now because it was very short notice, and I don't, like I said, I don't know who's here. I just know some people I specifically invited because I felt like it would be absolutely such a blessing for some of the women in my life to be a part of this.
Oh, of course. As many times as you like, Lynn. We anything. We love you.
Back at ya.
Thanks, Lynn.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.